Greetings. Happy Saturday. I am the Moon Mama. I am also Monique, but I actually like the Moon Mama. I always sort of liked my name when I was a little girl growing up because my granddaddy used to call me Mo Bear. And I really liked that. Like, it made me feel really special. My grandfather was he was an interesting man. He was a Virgo, and his name was Booker Cobb, and he was from Mississippi. And when he was 15 years old, he watched his father be murdered on a sharecropper's farm by a white man. And he left Mississippi and came to Los Angeles and really never went back, almost not even for his mother's funeral. And but he came to Los Angeles and became a longshoreman and made $1 million. Like, my grandfather was a hard-working man, and he was, like I said, he was a Virgo. His birthday was September 1st. Now, the thing that was so funny about him was that he loved women. Virgo men really have an interesting sort of thing because they carry a lot of feminine energy. So they often are effeminate. They are, so they feel effeminate, but that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with their sexuality, but they're just more connected to the feminine. And Virgo men usually have a little bit of, they're really like freaky. They're really like, and my grandfather would always hit on his daughter's friends. And it was just like, his daughters would be mortified. It was so funny. I remember my mother being like, granddaddy is hitting on such and such and such. And yeah, and so I just honor that this morning, the masculine and its attempt to balance its own energies inside, masculine and feminine. And this is a Saturn day, and Saturn is a day about karma, and that is really appropriate for me having a conversation about my grandfather because, we inherit all of the things from our lineage, like our ancestors, and we inherit the great stuff. Like I told you, my grandfather left Mississippi, came to Los Angeles, and made, at least $1 million. Lived really well, worked really hard, had many wives, and I would imagine enough women as well because he had money. And so, but that trauma that brought him here to Los Angeles, that made him flee Mississippi, and how that impacted him, how that impacted his heart. And so one of the things that I'm aware of, I'm aware of so many things. First of all, that I haven't washed my face or brushed my teeth this morning, and I have eye makeup on and all of that, but it's just y'all, so I don't really care because I'm going to the beach today with my son. But yesterday I had a session, a body working session with a girlfriend of mine. I've talked about her here before. Her name is Jackie Levitt, who does body work, and she did a internal what I would call maybe yoni massage or cervical massage, where she literally inserts her fingers into my vaginal canal or into the vaginal canal for the purpose of helping the fascia tissues release the tension. And as women, we carry all of our tension, all of our stress, all of our disappointments, and not only ours, but the people that come before us, right? Like, we're carrying, all of our mother's disappointments, our grandmother's disappointments, and, how that shows up in our lives is that it's stored in our wombs, it's stored in our cervix, and those tissues there. Yesterday, Jackie said it's like the heart pours over into the cup that is the womb. And so it's been my intention for the last decade to really heal my body, heal my psyche, the beliefs around the Western experiences, which includes my grandfather's trauma of leaving Mississippi because his father was murdered. And even though he came here and had what felt like capitalistic success. He was an alcoholic. He was depressed. He never really felt deep satisfaction and love and connection. And because those traumas live inside of us. And so my intention is to heal it inside of me so that I don't energetically pass it on to my son, so that he doesn't have to live out those cycles. And so yesterday, one of the things that I was able to experience when Jackie was doing the tension release with her fingers inside of my vagina was I could feel this heat that felt like a tension, like a tightness, like a heat that felt almost like a electricity at the top on the top layer of my vaginal tissues. And I find that as she was just holding the energy there, that there was a heat, and I could just feel like what felt like pain. Subtle pain, but pain nonetheless. And I'm just realizing how many times I have functioned over that kind of stuff in my life. How many times I have overrode my body. How many times I have, my body has said no, and I have done things anyway. This is the interesting thing, because there have been times in my life I have had a couple of experiences of date rape, or what we call date rape. I don't know that I have that sort of belief around it, because I really understand that we are energetically attracting to us exactly what we need and where we're from to show us what's going on with ourselves. And so I have had experiences where my body has said to me, no, don't do this. Don't go with him. Don't participate in this way. My body has been like, this is not it. And I have totally overrode it, not listened, and then been in experiences where the result was something was happening that I didn't want to happen, i.e. date rape. And so when, the lineage that we have going on here in this country, in these black bodies, is one where our systems have been overridden time and time again, so much so that for me, what I felt like inside, with her hands inside of me, I felt a callousness. That's what it was. And I felt the energy from her hands breaking through the callous energy in my womb. And it was like a burning experience. And it's the releasing of all of that tension from generations that I've been carrying for my family, for my lineage. And to be able to release it is just like, whoa, I'm telling you. So yesterday, after I left her, I felt like I felt great. I came home, and then I had been having some energy in my spine, and so I feel my body feels tender. I'm gonna go to the beach today and do some soaking and wave jumping, just to get my body in the salt water, and to move into a deeper experience of releasing and healing. But what I'm saying is, as Black people in this country, the karma that we carry is deep and rich and filled with a lot of trauma. And it's our responsibility to ask the deeper questions so that we can understand how to release and heal it. Because otherwise, it's still in you, pushing you into experiences like that. Those energies are alive, and we don't think they have consciousness, but they do. We don't think they have consciousness, but they do. And that's the thing I really want us to understand. So, if your grandmother was raped, or your great-grandmother was raped, those energies are still living in your cell structures. And it's your responsibility to be able to listen. And what happens is they create depression. They create scarcity. They create a lot of fear. And a lot of that stuff will be unreasonable. You'll be afraid of stuff, and you'll be creating stories, but depressed, and it doesn't make sense because that energy is in your body. That's what it is. So with that, The moon today is in Aquarius, and the moon in Aquarius is this opportunity for us to break free from our old constructs, to break free from our old ways of being. And we need that as the moon comes out of Capricorn, where all of the structures are coming undone, all of our social structures, all of our government structures are coming undone. So we're breaking free whether we want to or not. It's happening, right? And how it shows up is in our mind. So for instance, here I am telling you a story about, like, you know, rather than this being about, you know, me wanting something and yearning for something because my body is trying to give me signals to heal itself, I am doing the work and I'm beginning to have a new conversation. So I'm breaking free from the old ways of thinking and being, that Western way of, you know, it's hard to even equate it to the Western understanding because it's so limited. The understanding that we have in the West is just so limited when it comes to what these vehicles are, what these spirits are, the psyche, all of that. And so I am beginning to create a new conversation for myself, a new structure around conversation, around healing, around shifting ancestral lineage, around stepping into our power, around understanding how we're connected to everything. And so that is a new conversation. That is an innovative way of being. And that is what the Aquarius moon is about in the waxing gathering phase. So we are growing towards the full moon. We are having a full moon on October 1st. The light is growing. And so what you're focusing on now, where you're putting your attention now, is what's going to be showing up in your life. Like, this is like if you want to grow with the light. So if you are in a story of doom and gloom, then that's growing with the light and that's going to show up. So just recognize how this energy really works. So with that, I want to thank all of you so much for all of your donations and then the notes that you guys have been sending me. I really love hearing how this work helps you, because that's all I care about is, does the work work? If it don't work, then we got to do something else, right? So how does this work support you? How does it help you look at your own family, or understand your own body, or get clear about your power, or how creative you are? You know, where are the places that you're struggling, that you don't get it, you know? But nonetheless, thank you for communicating with me. Thank you for donations. Thank you for, you know, just showing up, because we are healing. That is what we're doing. We're healing. Send me light and love. I'm going to be starting a podcast next week that I'm going to be creating with my friend Karamu Kush. I'm so excited about that. We're going to be having real conversations about healing within the masculine and the feminine. You know, what's it like at this time to take on new ways of being and take responsibility for your life in all sorts of beautiful, unique ways for men and women. I know so many women who are like, I'm doing this work, I'm healing, and there ain't no men here, and the men are not doing the work. And I'm here to tell you that yes, they are. They are doing the work. And my brother Karamu Kush is going to be with me. My friend, a soulmate of mine, I love him, is going to be with me, having conversations about how he is personally taking on healing for himself, and then, you know, with the hope to encourage, you know, other men to really dive into a deeper understanding of themselves and their relationship to the universe through using astrology and through using unique and interesting modalities that allow us to wake up to who we are. So we have that to look forward to. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right, y'all. Life is good. Life is good. All right, that's all I got. Peace and blessings. Today's a Saturn day. Okay, I just had to say that. Check yourself, because Saturn is about checking yourself. All right.